What we're going to look at with this video is how to take our orthographic drawing with our isometric and multi-view and turn it into the orthographic done through SketchUp. So I have my SketchUp open. Here's our original drawing. This is in the setting we want for our isometric. If we look at the camera, we're in a perspective viewpoint. I'm going to go ahead and take off the axis. That way I have a nice clean picture. I can use my snipping tool and select the piece that I want. Using our snipping tool, I can copy this image, go back to our drawing, and I'm going to paste this in here. Now, for the purpose of this one, we have it set up to kind of allow us to see where everything goes. So I'm going to place this one over the hand-drawn isometric. And now I'm going to start working on the multi-view. You can see that we already have our measurements here. This is going to be a key point in helping us place our measurements where we want to when we create this view in SketchUp. So in order to do this, we have to make some changes in our settings. The first thing I'm going to do is with my camera. I'm going to change it from perspective to parallel projection. So you can see how that altered our image a little bit. Next, I'm going to go to view, and I'm going to come down here to edge style. I want to click back edges, and we can see now we have that almost see-through look to it. Go back to edge style. We're going to do profiles. What this does is just outline a little bit more to give us some depth. And then we're going to do the depth cue as well. And you can see that kind of finishes off from that profile. So that allows us to see kind of that layered piece there. The next thing I want to do is go down to face style. Right now we're on a shaded. We want to be able to see those hidden lines. So our face style will be hidden line. Once we do that, now you can kind of see we get this transparent view of our shape. Across the top, I have my views in my toolbar. So we're looking at the isometric right now. I'm going to look at the front view. Here's my front view. We can see that there's a change line between these two blocks, but then we have these two hidden lines within this section of it. If we go back to the one we drew, we see that exact same design here. We have our change line to separate these two, but then we have these two hidden lines. So I'm going to go ahead and dimension. Once we have that view, we know we're looking at the right thing. I've got all of my dimensions already on here, so I'm just going to transport those onto the other image. So I can see I have my height on the left side of this and the right side for the bottom. And then I can see I've measured the length for this section, the small kind of tower piece here, and then my total length. So we're going to go back and I'm going to label those. To do that, I'm going to use my dimensioning tool right here. Now there's two ways we can do this. If my blue line, like if I scroll over this and I get that blue line and it shows the entire length that I want, I can click once and drag out my measurement. And now I have my overall length right there. Let's go ahead and finish off the length. So you can see here, I don't want that full length. So what I'm going to have to do is click once on the endpoint, and then I want to tell it where I want it to stop measuring, which is going to be right here. And I can drag that piece up. And our third one was our small piece right here. Now we want our height. So I'm going to see that I can't get the entire height here or here. It only allows me to do that partial. So again, I'm going to click on the two ends of what I want, drag that out. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. This is exactly what I want, so I can just click on the blue line once and drag that out. So I can see I have the 5 measurements. I can verify that those were the correct. On this one, I do have the height at the top. So that is a slight difference. It's the same thing, but to go ahead and match what we have, we're gonna erase. So I can use my eraser. We're gonna get rid of this height here, or excuse me, this length, and we're gonna put the length when we do the top view. So I've got everything I want here. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my snipping tool, do a new. I have my shape. I'm gonna copy it, and then I'm gonna paste it into my doc. So I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna resize this a little bit, and then kind of place it about where the other one was. So we're gonna go back. For the purpose of this, I'm gonna erase all of my measurements that I did. I don't want any of those lines on my drawing when I turn the shape to look at the top. So now I have my clean top version. I can see that I have this little square in the upper left corner. I have the center hole and then the solid piece around. Again, I want to verify that that is in the right position. It does look just like what I have here. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to dimension just this one side here. This is the only one that I'm going to need on this side. And then we're going to go ahead and do our screenshot. We're going to copy this. And once again, we'll paste this into our doc. This is where we want to start paying a little bit more attention to the resizing and the placement. So I can see that's a little bit too big compared to the other one. I want to try to get these lined up. This is a little bit harder than just hand drawing it, but we can see that that matches up fairly well right there. The lines maybe a little bit bigger. Move it up a little bit to keep our 3/4. There we go. So that looks pretty good right there. And now we need our right view. On the right view, we can see we have our 3 depths, the overall at the bottom, and then we have those 2 partial lengths, or excuse me, depths to the top. So I erased the one that I had. I'm going to find my right view. We can see that we have the 2 hidden lines, just like in the drawing that we had. Again, this is like on the front where we don't want that full measurement, so I'm just going to do partial. And then this one I can, well, I clicked accidentally, but still works the same way. This one I could have done in one, but I did it with the 2 clicks. And one last time, we're going to screenshot, copy, paste it in, and then resize it so that it will match up with the work that we've done. So we can kind of see that that lines up pretty well right there. Maybe make it just a little bit bigger. And there we go. So now we've gone from having our hand-drawn model to having the computer-generated model using our SketchUp tool. The last thing, just in case maybe we were working on this and we didn't get our ISO, to go back to the original formatting. First thing I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to change my camera. So parallel projection is when we want to see that multi-view. To see the isometric, we go back to a perspective viewpoint. I'm going to click ISO just so I can see everything clearly. My view, I'm going to take off everything except the edges. And the face style, I'm going to go back to shaded. And now we can see that we're back at the original view.